Hi, I am Anna. I come from www.ntvforex.com. Daily FX EU Summit and European FX Outperformance. http ntvforex.com News ID 8D79 Ad. 7/17/2029 10:58 am. All focus now turns to the EU Leaders Summit starting today and the prospects of an agreement on the EU Recovery Fund. Our base case is for some progress towards a compromise, but no final agreement, as more time for negotiations will still be required. USD European FX Outperformance. The large slide in Chinese stocks yesterday, prompted by signs of the unevenness of the Chinese economic recovery, had a limited impact on FX markets, and G10 crosses remain fairly stable today ahead of the EU summit, the crucial factor for the near-term price action. Indeed, European FX, with the exception of the battered GBP and the safe haven CHF, outperformed G10 peers this week, underlying the importance of the upcoming EU summit as a differentiating regional factor. If we see more progress over the weekend, the trend of the European FX outperformance in the G10 space should continue early next week. Further progress towards the EU Recovery Fund. The ECB July meeting delivered no surprises and proved to be a non-event for the euro yesterday. All focus now turns to the EU Leaders Summit starting today and the prospects of an agreement on the EU Recovery Fund. As per EU Summit Market Preview, our base case is for some progress towards a compromise, but no final agreement, as more time for negotiations will still be required. But if negotiations were to appear to be on the right path and the agreement being a question of when rather than if, this should be positive for EUR, and EUR/USD is likely to move to the 1.1450-1.1500 level early next week after the summit. Equally, further compression of the Eurozone risk premium would be negative for CHF and translate into higher EUR/CHF. GBP the laggard even in good times. If the EU summit provides a boost to risk sentiment over the weekend, we expect GBP to lag most of its European peers with the exception of CHF, given its lower beta to risk and uneven one, with GBP more exposed to falling markets than rising markets and the UK-EU trade negotiations overhang. The mixed messages from the UK authorities on return to work policy, Prime Minister Boris Johnson saying workers should come back to the office, while Chief Scientific Advisor Sir Patrick Vallance in contrast suggesting people should continue working from home, doesn't make GBP prospects more appealing either. GBP is likely to do better against USD than against the euro in response to possible progress on the EU Recovery Fund. NZD room for relative outperformance. The Kiwi dollar has been lagging other activity currencies this week, in part due to 2Q inflation data that, despite coming in slightly above consensus, firmly reiterated the need for the Reserve Bank of New Zealand to keep rates at the bottom for longer. Still, we now see NZD bearing less idiosyncratic downside risks than AUD lockdown measures in Victoria and CAD spillover from lockdowns in the US, and signs of rebounding in activity surveys also bode relatively well for the economy. We expect a move back to 1.0600 in AUD/NZD in the short term. Read the original analysis, Daily FX EU Summit and European FX Outperformance. Subscribe our channel to receive the news as soon as possible. Thank you for watching.